INDI alliance, the alliance of reactionary forces, basically forces which do not have India's interest in its heart.
We have seen Rahul Gandhi going to foreign soil and then say that minorities aren't safe in India.
When he says minorities are not safe in India, the Congress's own record post-independence has been one of the most disastrous records as far as Dalits are concerned and as far as minorities are concerned. They said that under no circumstances will we back out on this stand. Qayamat tak hijab rahega. This was the kind of statement they gave, and the TMC MLA, elected MLA from Farakka, shared stage with the National Secretary of the PFI.
Do you also think that judiciary has to even step in because it only kind of formulates how a Hindu should pray?
You see, often the judiciary is very selective in its approach. It is very partial also.
And do you think that's right?
It is not.
Then they are crying foul that, Ram Mandir inauguration, they are not being called.
No, but they don't believe in Ram Mandir. They don't believe in Ram. All of them opposed. All these parties, Kapil Sibbal and company, they all fought repeatedly for years together. They fought cases against Ram Mandir. They opposed, they tried to lie in court on evidences, no historic evidences. So why should they be invited for Ram Mandir? Please don't come. They were silent on infiltration. You see the kind of infiltration, the kind of reactionary Islamist groups that they allowed to thrive in Assam and as well as in West Bengal. Yes, on the issue of infiltration, the Congress was always silent. The Congress is now gradually getting into a fringe. It used to be a ruling party at one time. It used to be a mainstream party at one time. Today it is going to the fringe. It is going around with urban Naxals. It is supporting Islamists. It is standing politically with those who are equating Sanatan Dharma with plague, with malaria, with dengue. The Congress has not condemned it.
Namaste all. Today I have with me Dr. Anirban Ganguly. He's also an author and also a chairman of Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation. He's very vocal about the bloodshed that has happened in Indian history. And we'll also talk about how communists and Muslim leagues are hand in glove here. But then it's not the same ideology that the Communist Party carries outside of India. And we'll also talk about the political narratives that's been driven in India. Now that the elections are coming, Congress is trying to divide Indians on the basis of caste. So we'll deep dive into such things. Thank you, Ji, for joining us. And it's a pleasure hosting you. We've been talking about Bengal subjected to bloodshed and history of that. And we also see that, Muslim League joining them or Communist Party joining the Muslim League in massacring Hindus. But then it's not the same in China. I mean, again, it's the Communist Party there where they put Muslims in concentration camps. So is that an ideological change that happens in Communist Party with respect to demography? How is it? How does it even work?
No, I think, you see, what happens is that in China, in any case, if you look at it, it's a very interesting parallel. In Pakistan, after Pakistan was formed, in East Pakistan, East Bengal, there is no Communist Party of Pakistan.
Right. They chase them away.
They chase them away.
Right.
We have never heard of a Communist Party of Pakistan.
Right.
There's a Communist Party of India. Similarly, when Bengal was divided and West Bengal was formed, the communists continued to survive and thrive in West Bengal. But they were imprisoned, they were killed, they were beaten up, they were tortured, and their shop was shut in East Bengal. Pakistan did not tolerate the communists. And ironically, these very communists supported the idea of Pakistan. They campaigned for the Muslim League. In every program that the Muslim League organized in support of Pakistan, the communists were active participants in that. They helped the Muslim League generate public opinion.
Right.
They went around promoting the idea of Pakistan.
Right.
They went around passing resolutions in support of the idea of Pakistan. And when Pakistan was formed, the first ones to be chased away were the communists from Pakistan.
The taste of their own medicine.
This taste of their own medicine. And and it's the other way in China. The Chinese Communist Party is in power, the CCP is in power. One of their major action is to clamp down on the minorities, especially the Muslims.
Concentration camps. And none of the Muslim nation wants to agree that there is a concentration camp. Well, they all cry foul, saying that India is treating its minorities badly. What do you have to say about it? I mean, we have seen Rahul Gandhi going to foreign soil and then say that minorities aren't safe in India.
No, Rahul Gandhi is obviously playing to a certain script. When he says minorities are not safe in India, the Congress's own record post-independence has been one of the most disastrous records as far as Dalits are concerned and as far as minorities are concerned. And if you look at every major riot post-independence, in fact, Gujarat used to be known as a curfew state during Congress rule. Congress ruled longest in Gujarat post-independence, just to take the example of one state. And it used to be known as the curfew state, where the Congress was unable to, incapable of, or unwilling to control the communal situation there. In Kerala, they teamed up right from day one, they teamed up with the IUML, Indian Union Muslim League. In West Bengal, they continuously had, in 35 years of left rule, they had a complete understanding with the left. They supported the Congress leadership in West Bengal, had a clear political setting and understanding with the left. They were silent on infiltration. You see the kind of infiltration, the kind of reactionary Islamist groups that they allowed to thrive in Assam and as well as in West Bengal. Yes, on the issue of infiltration, the Congress was always silent.
Now we are having the repercussions where...
We are having the repercussions. West Bengal is a bordering state, Assam is a bordering state. Due to disastrous Congress rule in Assam, due to a disastrous phase of left rule in Assam, which was tacitly supported by the Congress, because the Congress had to have an understanding, political support and understanding with the left at the center in Delhi. West Bengal's demographic situation is today what it is. And Assam, we know, in any case, we know Assam, the districts, number of bordering districts of Assam.
But right now it's been cleaned up. Do you think so?
Certainly it is being cleaned up. It is a long haul.
Right.
But I think this message is very clear in Assam, that it's not going to be any more like it used to be in the past. There will be no appeasement. There has to be accountability.
Right.
You cannot run illegal madrasas and get away with it.
Right.
I'll give you an example. When Buddhadev Bhattacharya used to be chief minister and home minister, before that he used to be home minister also, and as chief minister, later on as chief minister, he had publicly made a statement that a large number of illegal madrasas are thriving in West Bengal. He made that statement. He was then compelled by his party the next day to withdraw that statement. Publicly he was compelled to do it. You see, you don't even take the issue of national security seriously. It is not a question. I am leaving aside the denomination angle to it. I am talking about national security. Is it in our national interest? Is it in the interest of our national security to have illegal madrasas along the borders in bordering states? If it is not, right now as I speak to you, I can give you examples of how in Murshidabad for the first time PFI was officially allowed to hold, before it was banned. The state government officially allowed the PFI to hold a public program in Murshidabad. They carried out a public procession, route march, wearing their uniforms. The ground of a local government school was given to them to hold their meeting, in which they promoted Sharia, they supported hijab, and they said that under no circumstances will we back out on this stand. Qayamat tak hijab rahega. This was the kind of statement they gave. And the Trinamool MLA from Farakka, which is a constituency near the border, you have heard of the Farakka barrage, which is so crucial from the point of view of national security. The TMC MLA, elected MLA from Farakka, shared stage with the national secretary of the PFI. So you see, this is the situation. That means just in order to appease a vote bank, whether it is the communists or whether it is the Trinamool Congress today, they will go all out to appease that vote bank, to consolidate, keep that vote bank, try and keep that vote bank intact. For them, national security can go to hell. It doesn't matter to them.
Right, so we are only talking about two parties here, Trinamool Congress.
Yes, but the Congress is a party to this.
Right, now imagine the INDI alliance that they are...
Yes, so all, if you see in the INDI alliance, the alliance of reactionary forces, basically forces which do not have India's interest in its heart.
One of the parties wanted to uproot Sanatana Dharma.
Yes, look at the DMK. And it publicly made that statement, where you are functioning in a country where 89% are Sanatanis, are Hindus, and your minister, your heir apparent of your party, successor, lineage of Karunanidhi, he is publicly making this statement, and he is a member of that alliance. When the TMC leader, when West Bengal Chief Minister was asked whether you condemn this, she refused to condemn. That means in their hearts, they are all anti-Sanatani. The communists they are trademarked anti-Sanatani, we know that. The Congress is now gradually getting into a fringe. It used to be a ruling party at one time. It used to be a mainstream party at one time. Today it is going to the fringe. It is going around with urban naxals. It is supporting Islamists. It is standing politically with those who are equating Sanatan Dharma with plague, with malaria, with dengue. The Congress has not condemned it.
No.
The Congress has not opposed that.
In fact, they backed it. Priyanka Kharge, the son of Mallikarjun Kharge.
He backed it.
Yeah, he backed it.
He backed it.
From Congress, yes.
So you see, you can, on the one hand, we have the vision of Amrit Kal. On the one hand, we have a vision of New India. And on the one hand, we have the vision of a cultural resurgence, a greater consciousness, a self-awareness of who we are as Bharatiyas, fundamentally. And on the other hand, you have a conglomeration, a coalition of these reactionaries. And it is extremely frightening. And they are projecting themselves as future alternative ruling parties in India, which is very dangerous.
Don't you think that they are successful a little bit looking at the Karnataka elections?
The India alliance actually crystallized a little after that. But in Karnataka, I think, therefore I say, I feel the people also, our people in general, all Bharatiyas, must be very conscious as to how they vote, because their small issues and as a result of that reactions can eventually weaken the nation for broader perspectives.
Right.
And then obviously there is always they are always gunning for the vote bank. They're trying to project, they're trying to instill fear into a certain vote bank, and that vote bank then reacts. So they should also, those who react, they must also ask themselves, what is it that they have got? What is it that they have received? I'll give you an example. In a border district like Murshidabad, which is minority dominated, it is Muslim majority district. You have a preacher sitting in Murshidabad and saying, Hindus hold Durga Puja. They spend so much. They should not be spending so much. They should use that money to feed the poor. Oh, what about Hajj Yatra? What about all the other, various celebrations that you do? Celebrate the Prophet's birthday, etc., that you do.
Hajj building.
All that. You see the 12-story building that is there in Kolkata,
Right.
Hajj building. Right. What about all that? All that money of the exchequer has gone there. You are sitting in India and you are advising Hindus how they should celebrate Durga Puja.
Do you also think that judiciary has to even step in, because it only kind of formulates how a Hindu should, pray? As in, the idol has to be this, how to play holy, which crackers to burn.
You see, often the judiciary is very selective in its approach. It is very partial also.
And do you think that's right?
It is not. You cannot. If you are really impartial, then you should be impartial. You should be. But I must also say here, for example, the Calcutta High Court in 2016 and 2017. The Calcutta High Court, when we went to appeal to the Calcutta High Court, because Mamata Banerjee's government, and she was specifically not allowing Durga Puja Visarjan, because it's a major finale to the Durga Puja, the Visarjan, because there was a lot of restrictions and conditions imposed. The Hindus had to go to the court, and the court gave a very scathing remark, gave a very scathing observation and order that this cannot happen. So that way, there have been examples where the court has been positively proactive, but I think that needs to happen in a more balanced way.
Right. So it doesn't happen overnight, is what you're saying?
No.
So now that elections are coming, do you also see a raise in dividing people on basis of caste? Do you see that?
Yes, that is their old
Because
agenda.
the caste census is happening.
Caste census is happening. You know what has happened is that for the first time post-independence, the backward castes, the OBCs, the marginalized, the Dalits have actually really felt a sense of empowerment. They are majorly into elected bodies, into decision making.
Right.
So that change has happened in such a way that the Congress, the Communists, those who actually raised their political slogans and gained capital talking of Dalit empowerment but did not do anything for them, they are seeing that this monopoly has completely gone out of their hands. It is not that monopoly has come to any other party, I'm not saying that.
Right.
But it is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and under his leadership, that in the last 10 years, we have seen a major Dalit empowerment, major OBC empowerment, major marginalized caste empowerment that is taking place in this country.
Prime Minister himself is from
that caste. And whether it be financial inclusion, whether it be responsibilities in the government, positions, you see the number of Dalits who are coming up. I think that is unnerving the Communists as well as the Congress. Because their politics was always based on this division between castes, division between communities, and trying to spread a false narrative against the other. This is how they tried to create the social engineering, so-called social engineering, which is now falling flat. So I think that is why they're coming up with this. Why all these years did they not think of this? Why is it suddenly that they are? And Mrs. Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, herself, she did not support this approach. So then, if you are dumping Indira Gandhi also, whom are you holding on to? Italian Sonia Gandhi.
Now, Gandhiji said liquor is bad. But then Karnataka government wants to open
that
1,000 liquor.
My point is that we know the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Prime Minister Modi, we stand for certain ideology. We have a certain focus. What do you stand for? You have not been able to articulate this to the people of India. You oppose Modi, but what is it that you are offering people? You have not been able to say. What is your roadmap? What is your narrative? And why are you opposing him? You are opposing him for this. Fine. What are you offering people?
What did
They
you
don't
offer
have
in
that.
70 years?
In 70 years, we have seen your record. And now what is it that you are offering? People are not buying it.
Uprooting Sanatana Dharma.
Yes, and in a country which is the home cradle of Sanatan Dharma, you have the guts to say this and then to brazenly justify that.
I have to ask you this because you're into policy making as well. Now that this freebies culture is popping up, and it's not that now it is. In Tamil Nadu it is from ages, but then now in Karnataka, you saw that 5 freebies that did the magic. And of course, few other caste factors there. But then how do we counter this?
No, I think ultimately freebies kindly exhaust your system. I'm seeing in West Bengal also.
Well, the same BJP examples of Punjab to people of Karnataka.
It did not work. One nation, one election.
Okay.
Then one nation, one ration card. For example, then electoral reforms. Then women empowerment. Then the discussion on UCC. I think some of these are very fundamental issues where there needs to be sustained effort in making people understand and creating a greater sensitization on these issues. It will take time, but ultimately people of India will not stand with freebies. You see, this freebie culture has percolated our political system for the last 4 decades. 4 decades is a lot. It's just 10 years, and in that 10 years, it is 5 years that PM is emphasizing on this. That no, we need to get out of this freebie culture, freebie mentality. It will take time, but ultimately it will happen. But it depends on our capacity to continuously build up a narrative that why freebies in the long run degenerative, they are exhausting, they deplete your strength, your energy, your creativity, and why we must do away with that ultimately.
Right. So now that elections are coming, party BJP, what do you have to offer to people?
No, you see, we have a record of 10 years.
Right.
It is there for people to see.
Right.
At every level.
Right.
At every level, some major initiative has succeeded. It has brought changes in the lives of people.
Toilet,
it has
gas.
transformed. Yes, that's why I'm saying at every level.
Right.
I don't think any major dimension of our public life, any major dimension of governance has been left untouched in the last 10 years in terms of transforming.
Right.
Starting from defense to education to health to infrastructure. 30 lakh crore rupees has been invested in the last 10 years in building up world-class infrastructure. Whoever thought that we would have these infrastructure? You see the way railways are getting transformed. So when we are talking about infrastructure, the scale of thinking has changed. When we are talking about transforming education, you see the scale of thinking has changed.
Right.
When it is to health, you are making healthcare affordable to people. The scale of thinking has changed. When you are talking about basics, tap water, my fundamental question is, instead of trying to find out where the toilets have been built but there is no water, the fundamental question should be, why is it in 75 years? Nobody asked this question that villages, there are thousands of villages in India, in rural, large crores of families in rural India who had no access to clean drinking water and tap water. Why is it? Just because you lived in villages, just because you got elected and lived in Luton's Delhi, you did not bother about whether the villager in Ladakh whether the villager in Kanyakumari had water or not.
They ignored Ladakh.
They ignored completely. And then you are saying that it's a border region, we need to... So you did not build any border infrastructure. It was the official declared policy of the Congress party for 50 years that don't build up border infrastructures, leave the borders to their fate, That itself is the best defense. Such a kind of lopsided logic. So that's why I'm saying that if you look at every dimension, there has been change. There has been some fundamental transformative change in every dimension of our national life. So our report card is there for last 10 years. Every 5 years in the last 2 terms, Prime Minister Modi has presented his report card to the people. Every year when the anniversary of this government was celebrated, was observed. The Congress used to celebrate. All this DMK, all this coalition, no. They would celebrate, they would release a manifesto, kind of a booklet, and then have nice dinner at Prime Minister's house, photo op, finish. You have again celebrated 1 year of the government. Every year, PM has launched a new initiative. He has gone to the people, report card is there. So he will again go to the people with that report card, 10 years achievement, and then we will say next 25 years, we are already saying in the next 25 years what we want to do, and in the next 5 years. From fragile 5, we have come to top 5, strong 5. Now we want to come, we want to come to top 3, go beyond that. So you see our agenda till 2035, 2040, 2047 is already done. In the sense it has already been articulated. We are going to tell that to people that look, 2024 is one of the most crucial elections. Because it is going to launch India in Amrit Kal. We talk about India Vishwa Guru. We want India to be Vishwa Guru. India can be Vishwa Guru by such steps. In no first time in 75 years, 75% in the last 10 years, 75% of our murtis which were stolen from India have been reclaimed. Which dispensation, which Prime Minister thought about this? That we must get back our gods. We are worshipping them, but they are not there in the temples. They are lying in some museum, in some universities, they are lying. Or in some drawing rooms abroad.
But then they are crying foul that, Ram Mandir inauguration, they are not being called.
No, but they don't believe in Ram Mandir. They don't believe in Ram. All of them opposed the Ram Mandir there. All of them, all these parties, Kapil Sibbal and company, they all fought repeatedly for years together. They fought cases against Ram Mandir. All these communist card-carrying historians, they opposed, they tried to lie in court on evidences, no historic evidences. So why should they be invited for Ram Mandir? Please don't come. Nobody, please don't come because you don't have faith in Ram. Should we invite a party leader whose leader had once said Ram studied in which college? Should we invite a leader of that party, founder leader who garlanded Ram's photograph with slippers? No, please don't come. Ram temple is for the people of India, in whose heart Ram resides. It is for them. They will come. You are all mask wearing traitors to this country, to this dharma, to these people, and therefore please don't come.
Perfect. I know you're running short of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the insights that you just gave us, and then I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for inviting me.